We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. Today our moon is in Aries. Now it has a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius, which is bringing up the shadow work. So we're going to start with a reading for the divine feminine side of things, just to see what is going on with your connection, what's coming up. Now, with this, today's energies, not to mention the solstice, I'm going to be talking about that a little bit, but not to mention the solstice coming up and today's energies, we have a focus on shadow work. For many, the divine feminine, you're noticing that your divine masculine reflects your own energy back to you at all times, and they very much have been showing you your own shadow. This could be through their own traits, their own behaviors. It's very much being mirrored back in so many ways. However, I want to remind you that they also mirror back the progress that you're making. Some of you guys are, I don't want to say in denial, but you'll deny that, this has nothing to do with me, even though these are my lessons, or you're not seeing that yet. I think it can take a moment to kind of see everything, especially when we're trying to see ourselves on a deeper level and things that are being shown to us through the mirroring effect of twin flames. Now, I have good news for you. With the solstice, this is really, really bringing that energy that you need. You're going to be very much connecting, whether you're together here in union in the physical or you're in separation stage. Doesn't matter where you're at in the process. You're going to be very much connecting on a deep level with your twin flame. This might mean, if in union, feeling pulls to spend more time together, or if in separation, really, really thinking of this person. Okay, so let's start with a reading for the divine feminine. I always remind you, this is just a general collective reading, and a lot of people come and they ask, if you're asking about your own specific situation, do a one-on-one phone call with me. You guys can do those as often as you need them. I have people that do them all the time if they need them. It just depends. So you can do those one-on-one phone call sessions with me as often as you need them, whether you're looking to shift your situation, want to make some progress, just need to get something out, or you just want clarity on your path. So if you need me, book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com. This is a reminder, this is a collective reading, so only take what resonates for your specific situation. I always encourage doing the one-on-one work. I am an energy healer. I have a ton of healings, activations, and clearings on my website. I have a lot of really nice stuff up right now. Friday is the solstice, and Monday we're doing Pleiadian Day. It's like interesting way, like to start the weekend, right? Okay, so we're gonna have a late weekend, and I have a lot of really, really nice stuff up on my website through Monday. You can do anything on my site all the time anyways, but that's the best way to work with the solstice, is by doing some type of healing work. This will really, really help accelerate whatever's going on with you in a positive way. Okay, so let's start with the reading for the divine feminine side of things. Divine feminine collective, divine masculine. If you're watching, direct messages from your feminine. I wonder if you still think about me. How do you feel about me now that you've had time to reflect? Okay, the distance between us is killing me. I long to hear your beautiful voice again. So some of you guys are here to heal whatever it is that has come up in your specific situation in your love life. So you might be healing something in your love life, or something that's come up, or you might be facing something. It just kind of depends. You've been doing a lot of love life healing lately. Relationship healing, which is a good thing. It's meant to take you back to love and to heal and clear everything blocking, I'll say, your path, if it's twin flame or just within yourself. Okay, radiant love. You create positivity and warmth together. And this is happy, open, and optimistic. When you guys are together, I call it the love bubble. It is like the most beautiful space that you could be in. It could feel like everyone else, hopefully, just fades away, and it's just the two of you. And it can feel like time stands still. It literally feels like everything kind of slows down. You're together, and that's all that matters. But it generates, I use that word generates, very beautiful twin flame energy. When you guys are in union, I don't know if you know how powerful that is, just to be together with those union energies and union codes that you guys have together. It's just so powerful. It brings a lot of healing to both of you, but to those around you as well too. So just knowing that when you are in union, it activates and unlocks way higher timelines than you could ever reach by yourself. This is the point of it too. We literally separate on Earth, right? Come to Earth, separate so we can find each other again and merge back into that state of unity or oneness or union. Free flight. Give one another space to grow individually. Release, breathe, and clear. And then this is important too, because you're needing to navigate this being together, but also your solo time, okay? Like, this is what actually will help with relationships generally, or you literally, I don't want to say, you may drown the connection by not giving each other enough solo time too, whether this is like spending time with your own friends, hobbies, things like that. I think separation helps both twin flames to cultivate that time alone by yourself. So generally, okay, this is how it works, is generally you meet and you do some type of connection and you separate and come back together. It depends on how. Everyone's different. Maybe some people skip that, but I do find most people navigate that. And I feel that space by yourself, whether this is multiple times or but once, doesn't matter, you can really use that. I see a lot of people not using it, but you can really use this to heal and to elevate yourself, thus elevating the entire connection in a very, very positive way. Now, some people struggle with this, and I feel this is where you're tested the most when you're apart as to how you'll be, right? And if you're honoring yourself in this connection or whatever it is, or muddying it up, it just kind of depends too. And this is where the real work is done, because you have to sit with yourself and face yourself and the uncertainty and things like this. This is where the greatest transformation will happen if you're able to do that, if you're able to really, really dive into this. We call it healing. First blush, soft whispers of affection make love bloom. Okay, so we have infinite possibilities. A lot of you guys, there are so many timelines. Some of you have explored the lower where you broke it up, right? But there's so many higher, jokes aside, so many higher timelines where you're together, literally right now. There's so many universes where you're together, you're happy, you're in beautiful union. Sometimes when we want something, we desire something, we're being guided to align with it and do the work to make this happen. And we're also being guided to make these quantum shifts to these realities or these timelines where what we desire already exists and is already thriving and doing amazing. And so we need to sometimes continue to do that inner work. Now, I love the twin flame journey, because in reality, if you're doing the work and clearing everything blocking your union, and I mean your inner blocks, and doing the inner work, you're going to realize that that work is connecting you with source, but also with your person, with your twin flame. It's one in the same work. And so a lot of times the things that disconnect us spiritually can do the same from our connection and things like that too. So it tends to shine a light on our own, we'll say, unresolved issues, or things that we still need to heal. Okay, make sure you're cleansing and shielding your energy. Audacity is at an all-time high on this planet, right? Like there's so much happening and going on, especially if you're empath, which most twin flames are, empath, energy sensitive, right? You're waking up, you're going through a spiritual awakening, you're a twin flame. Make sure you're taking care of your own energy. Sometimes this is setting healthy boundaries. I'm noticing toxic people do not like boundaries, and you're having to set the same boundaries with the same people. Oftentimes, if they have bad boundaries, then they probably aren't very great for you either, if they're not great for themselves. So there are people that haven't done that much work that could be trying to connect and attach to your energy that aren't very good for you. Some of you guys are, navigating a lot in the matrix, or you're just my favorite, having a lot come up from within during this time, because you're on that ascension path or that ascension track or the twin flame journey. So you have so much more you're dealing with on the energy level, and we're dealing with a lot on the energy level anyways, as we're integrating all of these solstice energy codes and things like this, the light codes of the solstice. So you're integrating a lot of energies, and your body's going through a lot as it's trying to upgrade very, very fast and keep up with the ascension. Throw in twin flame, it really accelerates things and can bring a lot to the surface fast. A lot of times people deal with a lot of negative energies or emotions that are coming up from within, that are old stored energies and programs and things that you're releasing fast and letting go of. And so as these things come up, you notice them in your thoughts and your feelings and your energy. You don't want to stay sitting in it. The best thing that you can do is start to take care of your energy and start to do regular energy clearings and healings is what I do with you guys, right? Because you're going to feel a lot better. Just look at it like you're letting go of a lot of layers fast, and even a lot of layers of gunk and trauma fast, and you don't want to be kind of stuck in it and things like that. When we need an energy clearing and we're not doing the work, we tend to get depressed and things like that too. So some of you guys notice, you don't feel that great when your energy gets weighed down, and you feel a lot better, obviously, decluttering your energy field. Make sure you're taking care of yourself during this time. Make sure that you're saying no to things that are not aligned with your union so that you have space for this union. If you're in separation, if you're in union, same goes. You want to be taking care of yourself, especially on the energy. I feel the Divine Feminine has more come at them to try to throw them off their path or off your game and, things like this. So you're needing to really, really protect yourself and take care of yourself. Emotional clearing. You might be having a lot of heavy emotions coming up. Might not be the second, but on the twin flame journey, you most certainly do. You have a lot of layers. I noticed a lot of layers of, we'll call it fear programming coming up. Some of this is very ancestral. Some of this is just in your system. It's not even anything from your lifetime. It's just old wiring and programming. And so you might have old fears coming up, especially about the connection or whatever it is, things you're having to face. Okay, so we have Mary, Divine Mother calling. Some of you guys are healing big time mother wounds. We're going to notice that more as we go into that energy. We're going to go into Cancer season next, not yet, tomorrow, right? But we're in that energy and we're feeling that shift. So you're being guided to heal and clear, I call it the mother wound. Many of you guys are carrying obviously both from your family lines, but also this affects how you see yourself, your sense of value, your sense of security and things like that has been skewed from childhood. So you're healing deep mother wounds, and so some of this has led to overpouring and then attracting people who kind of take a lot energetically and don't treat you well. Some of you guys are healing self-neglect and self-abandonment because you've been really wired up in not the best ways. So you're being guided to really up your self-care, how you're looking after yourself, how you're spending, keyword spending, how you're spending your energy and what you're doing with your energy, and to really look at your connections around you if they're serving you. You're being guided to cut cords big time with today's energies, and it just depends on what kind of ways and with who or what's kind of coming up or going on. So make sure you're really, because we have a lot of this cards are about energy awareness and healing. Make sure that you're really taking care of yourself. Muriel, remember who you are. And as you're waking up and clearing out all those layers, your intuition's getting better. Make sure you're following your intuition, especially today and through these energies of what's coming up. I love the solstice energy. The veil is very, very thin right now. You're going to get more insights. This could be dreams, visions, feelings, sensing things, seeing things. Charity, great love is on its way to you. And as you're doing this work to become a better person, your person will reflect that back to you too. We talked about them having a very reflective energy of you too. They're going to treat you how you're treating them, and vice versa. So just know, for those of you guys navigating separation, continuing to do the healing, knowing it's around the corner, or in union, more love in the connection. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse, and so this is like, okay, some of you guys might feel like you've missed out on things. Some of you guys are getting a lot of, I call them initiations. You'll just think they're your lessons here on earth, but you're actually being tested to see, I always say, to see what you do and what you're about. I'm not trying to pick, but some in separation have been given a test recently. Some of you guys have passed and done well and will proceed. And some of you guys making wrong choices, like you keep getting the same lessons. This could involve people from your past, old lovers, karmic situations. Just kind of depends on what these lessons look like for you. You're being given certain lessons that you need to move through, you need to work through to either come into this union or keep this union on track. So just be mindful that I feel like you're being given a lot lately, but the more you do good at this stuff, the more you can kind of pass through and kind of level up fast. 6 of Cups. letting go of the past. So this is focusing on your future. There's some type of childhood issues, or this could be karmics, exes. We're going into, not yet, but Saturn and Mercury retrograde in a minute. We're kind of in those retro shades, and think we're pre-retrograde periods and things like that. So we're going to see some of these themes coming up over the summer. Some of you guys need to cut cords, and you could say, okay, I've let go of all this stuff from my past. Some of you guys have doors still open to old partners, previous connections. For some, it's just family, friends. For some, it's just haven't healed fully within yourself, some type of inner child stuff or previous connection wounds that are still repeating as patterns, or something still coming up. And it's like maybe just needing to heal something there that's coming up. This is a very past life card when I deal with this kind of thing. And yes, it's very twin flame message too, because you're here to really declutter from this lifetime so that you can come into union. And it's not always just union with your person, it's union with yourself and union with the divine. This person is going to reflect where you're at in the process. Things not going great with your twin flame, things not going great spiritually with yourself, things going great in alignment. You're in alignment with yourself, you're going to notice. And that's why you notice when you're doing kind of yucky, they're not around. And that when you're doing really good, they are around, because this represents alignment and the other not alignment, right? And things like that. Some of you guys have had a really long path with this person where you've been through a lot. Maybe you have a history with this person, or you've been through a lot on the twin flame journey, and it can be very, very intense, right? Going through the twin flame journey and seeing some positive shifts. Now, I believe you have to make these things happen. I work with you guys to make these shifts happen, obviously. And things like that. We shift things on the energy, and then you guys see the real results in the physical. So needing some shifts this summer. Like, we're in this summer, we're going into the summer tomorrow. We already feel like we're in the summer, right? But as we're getting ready to go into, really, when we go into we start summer here in the northern part of the year with the solstice, we're already halfway through the summer. Like, right? Believe it or not, and we're already getting into that. So we have a couple months, we'll say, left of the summer, right? And to utilize that, to utilize these high frequency energies. So we have the Emperor. This is the father issues coming up in the reading, because we've already had the mother wound coming up. Okay. And so this is the father issue coming up and things like that. And this is like, it depends what's coming up. So you might have both old wounds coming up, as we discussed, mother and father wound healing, major inner child coming up, major solar plexus for divine feminine coming up with this. Maybe you're needing to go back karmically and to let go of something from your father line, or what happened there. It just kind of depends. We just did Father's Day too. And so sometimes if you didn't have a great connection with either, so sometimes when we didn't have a great connection with our mother, if that's there, or your mother just carried a lot of unconscious wounding and that was passed down to you, this can affect your connection with yourself for the divine feminine. If you didn't have a very good connection with your father, or there's just a lot of wounding, this will affect your relationship with men, obviously. And for some of you guys have been through abandonment, rejection, loss with your parents. Some of you guys, they might be on the other side, or you might have had a challenging connection with them in this lifetime, because this is what starts out our original templates and where we come from and things like this too. So there might be some kind of wounding that's giving you control freak issues, like you want to control everything with this. And I always kind of say it goes opposite of what you want generally. So if you're trying to control this person, your masculine, the connection, the outcomes, how you think it shall go, oftentimes these are lessons in ego that we tend to get, or whatever it is too, because we have a total breakdown of the ego happening too. So with this divine masculine, we saw the divine feminine, you need to heal over giving and over exerting. And I mean with your masculine, like if you're trying too hard, like this is actually a turn off to them. That's the old paradigm of, women overpouring and things like this. And you're going to notice sometimes it has that opposite effect. Giving them too much of your focus and energy sometimes tends to get the opposite results. Now with the divine masculine, this is some type of ego programming and how you're seeing things. Okay, let's start with a reading for the Divine Masculine side and just kind of see how it's going for them. Divine Masculine Collective, Divine Feminine, if you're watching, direct messages from your Divine Masculine. Letting you down was the worst decision I made. I feel like I abandoned you and myself when we broke up. I want to reconcile. So some of you guys have had some type of, it could be disagreement, breakup, not together. This isn't for everyone. Like I said, this is just a general reading, but maybe some of you guys are apart. On the move, moving away or getting a new home together. Many of you guys are facing moving in together. I've seen a lot of twin flames that have moved in together over the past year. So I deal with a lot of, obviously, this job, this separation timelines, but when you heal these, when you heal yourself, you get into the union timelines, and a lot of twin flames are living together, planning on moving together, married, planning on getting married, maybe starting a family or a business. Like, if you have something going on in your life, they're probably going to be very supportive of that, and vice versa, and things like that too. So some of you guys have been talking about or making plans about actually moving in together or going to the next level. Choose wisely. Consider long-term issues before you commit. Wait, compromise, and trust. And so the issues need to be worked out. A lot of times people want to skip the healing stage when it comes to twin flame or awakening or ascension, and I always kind of joke around that your soul has a fun way of getting your attention when you need to heal, and it will send you what you need to keep you on track with your healing, right? And you're noticing that within your awakening too. Whatever's kind of coming up or going on, whatever challenges are coming up, it's all pointing you towards healing, because this is where you heal yourself and level up your energy in your life and get better results and things like that too. And the thing is a lot of people want to skip that, and when they're in separation come right back together. But if you don't heal those issues, you'll just get the same results. And a lot of you guys have seen that through many connections, right? It's like you keep on going through the karmic cycles of it and getting the same results, and you know, okay, I'm good, maybe I'll find another partner or person or whatever. It's the same stuff coming up. And so your twin flame is always showing you your own issues to heal. Because if you're in separation and it's whatever issues led to separation are still there, and you try to come back together, it'll just be more another painful same cycle. And so it's very important that you heal to break out of the patterns and cycles and get better results and things like that too. So pointing you towards healing right now, and this Divine Masculine is being guided to work out or work on some pre-existing issues or some issues that are coming up. Tenderness, having a gentle spirit, and being able to care deeply. Okay, this is a twin flame relationship, but you know that. Your frequency is also rising, but also this is about being yourself. I know that a lot of women, sometimes, I'm not picking, some women are always like, you need to heal and change this and do that, and the masculine's out of there, you'll notice. They just want to be themselves. After, in their upbringing for this person, they were kind of told how to act, how to live life, whether this is family programming, society, and things like that. This is just about being in a space where they can be authentic and be themselves. Overflow with love. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. You guys only ever have to give out of the overflow, so you have to really take care of yourself to get to that overflow state. Okay, so we have faith. Tend to speak your truth. With Heniel, moon magic. Make sure that you're tapping into the elements during this time. We have the solstice, which is amazing energies to be working with. We get a lot of, we'll say we have a lot of moon energies, a lot of sun energies, and a lot of galactic energies coming at us that can really, really help us. We have Seraphina, and this is Ascension card, and I love this because you're being guided to really work on your ascension. But first we have the Tower in reverse, which indicates you've already been through the Tower. Many of you guys are actually resisting change, and this is like my escapism, delays, avoiding things, you know, but you've already been through a lot of loss. You've already been through the crumbling and stripping away of everything not serving you. For some, this could be losing your twin flame, and you know, and this connection, and it triggered a lot, or it broke you in some way, or it was very intense to go through. This could just be letting go of old ego beliefs, narratives, all of the things that come with this card. So you're being guided to stay open to change during this time. There's a lot of change happening in your life and on the planet. We're going to see that collectively too, but this process is best navigated, you know, individually by your timelines and what's kind of coming up too. So we have the Three of Cups in reverse. For some, this masculine might be trying to avoid with like partying other people. And I see that. I was talking to my own person about this, where I see a lot of people trying to use other people to not feel and sit and do the work. And so be mindful of that too. So that's what this can indicate, whether it's like hanging out with friends because people don't want to be alone, or dating and throwing a third party in the middle because they don't want to sit with all of that emotion and their thoughts and things that are coming up and stuff like that too. So this isn't for everyone, but if you guys are in a third party situation, this is what's going on. And this is like, it might have started out really good for those that have someone in the third party, but it's brought up the old wounds and pain and the same stuff. I always remind you guys that if someone doesn't heal and they just go date someone else, they bring the same patterns and issues and problems with them that will come up, just like they did in the other relationships and things like that too. So I see a lot of things coming up in this reading, where this could be a third party situation, or it could just be escapism and addiction. It just kind of depends, or patterns or whatever it is. And escapism doesn't have to be like full on addiction like we think. It could be avoiding your flame, like, right? Or trying to put this out of mind, or trying to move on, or whatever it is. There is this energy here. And this is avoiding going into the painful areas. So healing is really good, but it takes us into old pain, and so do relationships. Relationships take us into the same wounds and pain, but so can healing. But when you go into that, you transmute it and alchemize it. Now, a lot of people don't know how to do that, so they're just masking and covering up things. And so there's some type of pain underneath here with this divine masculine. This could be old wounds, and it just matters from what. Something in your past. There's old pain still in your energy field and things like that too, that you might try to avoid. And when you sit with yourself and go into it, it's like, oh, don't go there. There's something that you still need to heal, okay? Because you're feeling drained. We have the Nine of Wands, and this is fight or flight and avoidance and ego, but it's draining. Like, this is like, you got walls up, your fight or flight was activated. This is where you got that strong desire to get out of there and run or whatever it is, right? Or there was some type of argument that sets that off. And you guys are going to notice that oftentimes when I see separations, I work with so many twin flames. And when I see this and I say, what happened to put this in there? If there was an argument, you're noticing for a lot of these divine masculines that one of their triggers is conflict. They're not going to sit there and, be yelled at or whatever it is, or, dealing with the feminine in that light. So the fight or flight gets activated. They're out of there. They go into that avoidance pattern and things like that too, as they probably should in those energies and things like that too. And so there's some type of fight or flight activation. This could be avoidance of the connection, dismissal of the connection. This could be, they're out of there. It depends. And maybe not knowing how to deal with the divine feminine, who might have, and I use this battle card, who might have, projected a lot on this masculine, or unloaded a lot on this masculine, or blamed them for their pain. We have a lot of the divine feminines that haven't healed enough, and they blame the masculine for their feelings or not doing stuff or whatever it is. So we have this energy where this person gives up. They're sick of fighting. They don't have the fight in them. They've been through a lot of that in previous lifetimes. Some of these masculines have been in like literal are healing from war templates and things like this. And they just don't have it in them, and they've done enough inner work to cultivate where they're at within themselves, and they want that in a relationship as well too. So this person might feel slightly drained from the connection, where it's become a battle to them or very negative to them. It just kind of depends in their own where they're at with it. And so, this person's feeling a little bit drained from this connection. This could be dealing with overly needy divine feminine, where they're literally putting all their focus and energy on them, and they think it's a good thing. Like, oh, I'm sending them all my energy, but it's actually draining the masculine. And that's why they're out of there, because divine feminine is putting too much on them. It could be very draining with someone connecting with you in that way all day. It could just be from issues coming up in the connection, or dealing with some type of unhealed divine feminine aspects, where some of the divine feminines really connect with the masculine, looking at them for their source, which is draining to the masculine. They can't keep up with the energy demands, something along these lines and stuff like this too. If a part, this person wants to reconcile, they want to heal this, they do not want the rift there anymore, or they might know there's something there, right? just kind of depends. Okay, I'm going with that note anyways. If you guys need me, got tons of one-on-one reading sessions, coaching on my website, healings, activations, clearings, all of the things that you need to help you along this journey. I have some really amazing twin flame healing packages too if you need it to really, really help you with whatever's kind of coming up too. So if you need me, just go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com.